There we go. This is a recording of the Southwick Public Library Board of Trustees. It is April 11th at 7:06 p.m. And we are, yes, and we are going to do a roll call. So Lynn Blair,
Michael McMahon,
Tammy Salem,
Maria Gallo,
Jen Belden.
we have Bert Hansen as a guest tonight.
I didn't know if I was supposed to be part of the roll call.
Okay. Who would like to do minutes for this meeting?
I will do minutes for the next meeting, but I cannot do them for tonight.
Okay. Any other takers?
I will take minutes if they don't have to type them up.
I'll tell you.
Okay. I have paper. Let me go grab paper.
Yeah, somebody will have to figure out there. All right. So I had Bert under new business. I don't know if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
we met.
Okay. So we're putting Bert under public comments.
Sure.
Okay. So we have Bert here because he inquired about doing a program at the library. Did you want to tell us a little bit about it? What you have in mind?
Yes, okay. Yeah, I've been here before, Bert Hansen. I'm normally representing the Agriculture Commission, but tonight I'm here for the campaign to elect Diane Gale, who is running for select board this May. And so I've been obviously trying to get the word out. Just had the idea to have a kind of a meet the candidate type of thing. I don't know if that's ever been done here at the library before. The Senior Center is doing one Monday, April 24th in the morning. It would just be maybe an hour and just invite folks in. We probably would have some refreshments of some kind. And just allow people to come in and, Diane, ask her questions, that kind of thing. Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse. So, I mean, it's a pretty low impact event, I would say. So I'm sure we won't exceed, the 45 people for the room. And I guess the question is, as a public space, would it be necessary to offer the same thing to other candidates and or invite them to the same event for a sort of a town meeting type of thing? That would be great, actually, if we could do that. But I just, wanted to make the request and see how the board, felt about doing something like that.
Yeah, as per our policy, the community room is bookable by any nonprofit group that wants to meet here. It was just Bert's question that we wanted to address. If he were to open it to one candidate, would he need to reach out and offer it to another candidate? So I did speak with someone from the Massachusetts State Ethics Commission, and yes, they have an attorney of the day, actually.
I've heard that.
Yes, she was very, very nice and helpful. So she said that she clarified that, if you don't have to reach out and invite the other candidate, if you wanted to host your event with just one, obviously it's completely up to you what you want to do with it. But, there is no obligation for you to reach out and invite somebody. It would just be more on us if, one candidate reach out, wanted to do an event here, we allowed it. We would also have to allow, obviously, for the same thing for the other candidate. So that kind of clears up that question, and that, it's up to you. I mean, if the other candidate wants to come and do a meeting here, great, fantastic. We'll fit it in if we have space,
Does that make, sorry,
Go ahead.
I was wondering though, does it, even though it is the community room is a public space, but does it make it look like the library's leaning towards who people should vote for?
Well, see, that's what I was gonna say. For example, the city of Boston last year got hauled before the US Supreme Court about their flagpoles at City Hall. And the Supreme Court said, well, if you've allowed different groups and you haven't had really tight guidelines of what qualifies and what doesn't. You've allowed this ethnic group or this
Religious
nonprofit
group
or whatever it might be. And then one group calling themselves Christians, where they quote Christian flag, whatever that is. You wouldn't allow their flag to be flown at City Hall. You're in violation. They're entitled to do it. So the fallout from that is everyone, including the town of Southwick, is putting together flag policies.
Right.
What flag can be flown at town hall or on town buildings? And a lot of places, including Southwick up to now, hasn't had a policy for
Right.
being put together. I did notice, as Bert had mentioned, the senior center is having some kind of event. What the senior center did is they sent a letter out to every candidate that's on the May ballot, inviting them on a particular day from 8:30 in the
So it
morning
wasn't
until
just one
9:30.
candidate. booked
It
one,
was
yeah.
every candidate. They're told you can wear badges saying vote for me or whatever.
Right.
You can't hand out literature, which is what the senior center said, but you can wear badges or
To kind of
uniform,
identify
whatever you want,
yourself,
right,
yeah.
whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm just, given that and our small size, are we going down a treacherous path to the river?
I know the auditorium, of course, in town hall is much, much bigger than this space,
Mm.
but why not do it there? I mean, town hall is definitely public property,
Right.
you know,
Um,
I mean, depending on the turnout, this might be a very intimate space.
mhm.
But again, we're opening ourselves up to everybody under the sun wanting to have some kind of get together.
Is
Yeah.
that really a terrible thing?
But
Opening it up to people wanting to get, like, if their campaigns are willing.
oh no,
to-
I don't mean that. I necessarily mean for elections, but for too many other things. We're a small space considering. You know, I don't know what the fire
You know,
marshal limit
if
is.
you look at our rules, we talk about, we'll let nonprofits.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've set up lots of Boy Scout meetings here.
Yeah.
So I've read the rules,
Right,
actually.
right.
Usually I don't have any knowledge of them, but these ones I know.
I just think if you widen it up to people or groups that want to get together, especially politics is like a landmine or something. You're
Anymore,
you're
yeah.
afraid of stepping into it.
But it's still a
Again,
nonprofit,
given
so it's clarified.
political candidates are not nonprofits, they're individuals. They're not charities.
I mean, there is an organization, there's a campaign to elect Diane Gale. It's not a nonprofit, but
Right.
there is an organization.
But it's not a for-profit.
And also, I don't have a great answer about why we didn't think of the town hall. I will say because it's going to be at the Council on Aging, which is part of town hall, you know.
Some of the other options would be like
But that's in the.
American Legion or the Grange, or there's other places where you've got acres of parking and
Mhm.
you could have 150 people, let's say at the Legion, and nobody would notice the size of the crowd.
Mhm.
As long as it's not on a weekend when they're doing, 338 stuff.
I presume the senior center's during the day, right?
Yeah, it's in the morning.
Like a weekend,
This would be a,
yeah. See,
um,
this is for the people who work. So to speak.
you're right, exactly, yeah.
I'm also thinking if you want to serve wine or anything as part of your refreshments, you probably have to get a permit.
Yeah. which-
According to the
I
rules.
wasn't-
Well, okay, I was gonna say, there was one mentioned.
There's nothing about serving alcohol in the library.
No,
I
I'm
was not allowed to serve alcohol as a Boy Scout.
We aren't going
Well,
there with the
yeah,
one.
for various reasons, right?
You can get a one-day permit.
Yes,
though.
you can,
And actually, this has been done in the past
It has
year
been, yes.
for wine tasting.
Yes.
Well,
for the
15 years
Friends
ago,
of the-
you were one of the
Right.
people.
We do it for the art show as well every year
Yeah,
for
yeah.
20 some years.
No, I didn't mention wine because we're not thinking about wine. So,
Does the town have any kind of policy? Well, obviously, the senior center allows these types of things.
Well, I think when you asked Carl about it, and
Right.
he just directed you to the state
Right.
ethics commission, which is who I talked to.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Interesting that they said you don't even have to reach out to the other candidates. I would think that they.
Yeah, I mean, their
I think
point,
if it was,
their
sorry,
point is,
if it was sponsored by the like sponsored, you know, like the library was having a candidate tonight, then they can pick
Yeah.
and choose, but.
well, from what I described to her, from what you were thinking, her response was that, you know, if they were to come and ask us, you know, if we did one for one person, obviously we have to do it for the other person, it needs to be equal for everybody.
And I think that if you're approaching us on behalf of the committee, like you're using, you know, you're requesting to use the space versus the library saying, hey, we like you, come into our space, but
Right.
You know,
like
it-
you.
it's a bit different
As
than,
opposed to,
as you mentioned, the League of Women Voters
right,
invited all the candidates to show up.
right. And it's not like libraries usually, as far as I know, libraries don't usually hold candidate meetings for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't see why not, but
Um,
it's tough.
Well, I think it's a great idea what the senior center did to invite all the candidates, so we can certainly do that. I mean, there's only one contested seat.
Yes,
Right,
exactly,
like-
exactly. Yeah.
But,
But again, you're so limited as to number in here.
yeah,
I mean, even for Gail, I would expect more than 40 people to come out to support her.
yeah. True.
You know?
I mean, it could happen.
Let's hope Russ will
Yeah,
be
but
back
if
in
a lot
office
of
again.
them are- A lot of them are at the senior center or during the day.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I wonder if you would give it a try, you know, if we reach out to the other candidates, if we have somebody at the door to count bodies. And I don't know.
You have to be finished by 8 when the library
Oh,
closes.
yeah,
Right.
we close, yeah, but
And you'd have staffing for that, like to be out there just to.
and we'd have our regular staffing, you know, I mean,
How many did we have? We had the promotion.
About 30 at the farmers.
yes, I mean, that's something, you know, that whenever somebody books the room, you know, as long as that you know that the limit is the limit and, you know, you keep
Right.
track of it and
Sure.
I know you're responsible about that, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. And that, of course, doesn't count people in the library, right?
No,
There could be
that's just
45
this-
people in
just this
here,
room, yeah.
and people
Yeah.
can still be in the library.
Yeah,
I would suggest holding it somewhere else, be it the American Legion or the Grange or Brass Rail or wherever it might be, just because I don't want to taint the library that we're endorsing the candidate. A couple of years ago, there was an election, and this was like the weekend before the election. A person was running for office. They have a business and they had a truck, and they had the truck with a couple of huge banners saying, vote for person X. I went down to town hall because there was something going on at town hall. This was on a Saturday. So the library was closed during the summer. I went down to town hall. I said, I'm calling the police. If you don't get that truck out of there.
Hmm.
And the person involved with the particular political party, truck was gone 5 minutes
Yeah.
later.
And the
As I
truck was,
said-
they parked the truck here?
They parked
Yeah.
it in the parking lot
Mhm.
and so as you drove along the
Sure.
street, you saw the banner.
Right, right.
I don't care who the candidate is, it doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
If you want to park it, you know, in King Brothers carpeting,
Mhm.
if I let you park it there,
Mhm.
you know, go for it, but not on public property.
Yeah. Just for the record, there actually is an event at the Brass Rail. On Cinco de Mayo, it's 555.
Oh, okay.
Fifth month, you know, fifth day, 5 o'clock. Excuse me.
I don't see an issue with it as long as like, maybe, like you said, reach out to the other candidates and
Mhm.
let them know and just instead of it being feel like it's one-sided.
Right.
Public space, you're
Yeah.
not a for-profit company, I mean, you're not officially non-profit, but
Yeah, but our policy, just to clarify, so our policy only says, nonprofits. It doesn't specifically say that they have to be like a 501c3,
Right.
just so.
Hmm.
Because we have nonprofits that are like, the Girl
Yeah.
Scouts are 501c3, but we have other nonprofits that are,
can we limit it to what the senior center is doing, so that like no literature will be handed out to make it look less, to not be biased like that?
Not if you're,
or-
not if a committee for Gale is gonna sponsor the party. And how you can stop them from, giving out literature, because this would be specifically
Oh,
for
that's
Gale,
right, that's right.
But
right?
they can't leave it here for anybody to pick up.
All right, no,
Well, that
definitely not.
Yeah.
goes without saying.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel uncomfortable about involving the library in partisan politics. And that's what it would be.
See, a lot of towns in Massachusetts don't have partisan politics at the local level. The city council or the town council or all the candidates, there are no,
Just the
there's
parties.
no Republican
Yeah.
group and a Democratic group. There's just Joe Smith says, I'm running for selectman, I'm running for,
City
mayor
council
or
or whatever,
whatever.
yeah.
that's not.
That's not the
consistent
case
with
here.
Southwick.
Okay, well, good discussion. I think I'll withdraw my request. No hard feelings. Just wanted to bring it up, see what might be doable.
Do we want to do a formal vote? We are quorum now, so.
Well, no, if you withdraw this.
Well, yeah,
that's-
okay.
gives everyone- Otherwise it gets awkward.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it seems like it seems like the vote would not be a
We're not comfortable.
majority. So that's okay. So, okay, that's my message for tonight.
If you want another ag seminar,
Oh, there will be.
Well-
There definitely will be. Okay, well, and please come to the 555 at Brass Rail if you're so inclined. It's gonna be another 5 too. $5 like tacos and stuff.
Is this,
So,
what do you mean, this is another get together for Gale or?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah,
At the Brass Rail.
Right, right. So,
Cinco de Mayo.
okay, everybody, I'll let you
Okay.
get on to your many sets of minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Elections are the 9th.
whatever that Tuesday is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In early May.
First,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, okay. And then the town meeting is the 16th.
Right, it's already
Tuesday
the
after,
following
okay.
Tuesday.
Right.
The way that the paperwork currently is, he didn't have to ask. He could have come in and just filled it out. And I think that if we think it's inappropriate for him to have the event, then the paperwork needs to be fixed.
Oh, I didn't think it was inappropriate. It was his question about whether he asked the other candidates, and I just wanted to bring that to the attention, just to make sure to make sure, I wanted to bring it to you guys to make sure that we are following the policy correctly, because you are ultimately the stewards of the policy. And I was unsure. I've never been asked about that before, so, but they were very helpful from the Ethics Commission.
Because it's just, if you allow one group, then you have to be open to another group coming in.
Yeah, and he did fill out the paperwork. So it was just a matter of discussing the aspects of the event and about inviting other candidates. And
It's just, given the way the Supreme Court went this past year with Boston with a flag, it's like, oh God.
Yeah.
That's why Southwick is going through a whole process to come up with a flag policy, and cities and towns, counties across the country are going through the same thing, that they won't be hauled into court to defend their decision, whatever the decision might be. Okay,
so communications, we're trying, I'll just keep it briefly because we're at 7:30. So books on the go, we're working on advertising the program. I've sent flyers to Cindy at the Council on Aging. Our volunteer delivery drivers took some posters and hung them up around town so we can hopefully get some more people using it. And I think we also put it on channel 15, so hopefully that'll get some more attention too.
A flyer was definitely distributed around Southwick Village.
Yes, so I've heard.
Oh, yeah. Each person's little cubby hole.
Yes, well,
Got
that's
that.
good. I mean, maybe we'll get some more people from that.
Yeah.
We have a high school intern. She's working with us through the end of the school year, mainly working in YA. She's interested in marketing and graphic design, so she's working on a lot of those aspects. The latest pop-up library session at the Southwick Village was on March 1st. We've been doing it every other month. Our next one is the first Wednesday in May, so that's been going well.
Sorry, what's the first one? Say it.
Oh, pop-up library at the Southwick Village.
What's the pop-up library?
I just bring an assortment of books, audiobooks.
Oh, and
and
people
whatnot.
come in
And I
to-
hang out in the cafe for 2 hours and
I gotcha,
chat with
yeah.
everybody who comes in.
I don't usually go. I figure I know the whole library.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We are working on getting our summer reading events together. We have a busy lineup of programs for adults. I know children and YA are working on a busy lineup as well. And then lastly, the annual survey, we normally do it in April. I decided people are surveyed out. We just did everybody for the strategic planning. So it's best to just wait until next year. I don't want to, we just got data. We don't need more data on top of the data we have.
More data from the same people.
Yes, yes. So that was it for communications. Acceptance of minutes. So I noticed in the January minutes that were approved, let me just get my calendar up so I can look at the dates. So I noticed the minutes were fine, they were approved, but I noticed in the heading, the date is supposed to be January 10th, it's just when we met, but it says January 11th. So we just need to amend that before we post it. Do you want to do all sets of minutes at once? What's easier for you guys?
Sure.
These are from the January special meeting minutes. I'll send those around. And February.
Reaching for the wrong thing.
I did only notice just one change that we want to clarify in the January meeting minutes. Where it says the 2.5% increase for the assistant director. That is just on that spreadsheet when I
Right.
have to calculate the
Right.
19%. So we don't know what she's actually getting.
Right.
That's just the number I
Right.
used.
Well,
So I just,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Right above that is programming with 2 M's.
Oh,
or
yeah,
what?
yeah.
That without my glasses.
that's okay. Okay, yeah, I see what you said. I think that seems
Right.
clear enough. Okay, yep, I just wanted to make, I didn't want anybody to read that
Right.
as like, that one isn't set in stone yet. I haven't heard if they've decided anything yet. And then is the February one, thank you for Tammy. I would just suggest, and I can make the edit, is I just want to put people's last names in the top there. And I think Cindy is with an I. But other than that, I think that one looked okay.
I thought January 30th I was on Zoom.
January 30th. Yeah, it says all attendees. Oh, yeah. I will double check because I can look
I
back
I
at the
know I went
recording.
back and looked at the video, so I could see you, that you were at the meeting, but I don't know if you're on Zoom or in the room.
Oh, okay. So should we just amend it to say all trustees present?
Right.
And then that way, because I can look back at the recording to be sure, but we need to get these posted, so I'm gonna stay late after the meeting because we need to get these posted online.
I think this is what you just mentioned, I'm not sure, the A and assistant director, is that supposed to be capitalized, is that what you were just talking about before?
Oh, yeah, we can fix that.
I'm channeling my camera.
That's okay.
Were you given the official red pen?
And you said the January 10th meetings, it's only the date that needs to be changed.
Yes, it's
Okay.
only the date at the top is incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at the very top, and then on page 2, she has it there too. So it's technically at the top on both pages.
Any other corrections? Someone want to put out a motion to approve these?
Motion to approve the January special meeting and the February minutes with amendments, since we discussed.
A second.
All in favor? Michael, yes.
Tammy, yes.
Maria, yes.
John, yes.
These are from last month. Because I think those are the ones from March when we didn't meet. Probably still sitting in my mailbox as well. Will you guys look at the March ones? I'm gonna go see. I think I must have to grab the 8th or the. Yeah, those are the February.
We're still getting a lot of our books going out. We're still getting many of other people's books coming in. Just looking today. And still a few curbside.
Am I not reading the first page correctly? Under the second part of it, it says fiscal year 2021, and then just giving us figures for 1920 and 1921. Why are we going back more than 2 years? See what I mean?
Wait, I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, the first page she gave us, yeah. See, the year just doesn't make sense. These are 2 and 3 years ago.
If you flip the sheet over to got all the stuff, 21 and then all 22.
Oh, okay.
So maybe
I
she's
still,
giving you more
I-
data.
yeah,
than
I
you
guess
need.
he's giving us 3 years here, 4 years here of data.
It's just we went through a couple of strange years.
Well, true. I don't even think to look at the back of the page.
You guys have the February report. I must have, when I shuffled everything around because we didn't have a meeting in March without a quorum, they are probably attached in one of my other random piles of to-dos. But I'll make sure to bring it at the next meeting if that works for you.
Yeah, it's good data.
Yeah, so I'll bring, because I know I did it, my computer's not on right now, so I just can't print it out really quick. So I'll bring the March statistics next time. But yeah, so
I
there's,
guess these are February.
yeah, I mean, at least you can look at February. Any questions on this? We're still getting quite a few donations in memory of Irene Wolf, so that's very nice to see.
Did you clarify or get any input from Carl about the whole thing with the selectmen approving contributions?
Yep, I spoke with Michelle, who's the town treasurer. So for the donations, we write in to just ask them for permission to
Oh.
deposit in the gift account. And then fines and like refunds for lost or damaged books are just going in a revenue account with the accountant.
So if the library will keep that money or that just goes into the general fund?
I have to clear, it doesn't go into a general fund. They set up an account for library fines revenue,
Oh, okay.
but I need to clarify because it sounds like we can't order, like anything out of the revenue account. So I don't know if it's something we can use or how that works. So that I just need to clarify. All right, so March statistics will table until next month, and I will have March and April next month. Any last questions before I move on? So the old business, Cindy isn't here. I'd given her pictures of the book drops that we discussed it in January or February, I can't remember. And she was going to see if like an auto body shop could do anything about the rust on them. So I think we'll check in next month and see if there's any updates on that.
Any updates on the sign?
Yes, I just heard back today. I think he said like 1 to 2 weeks. They're just working on some stuff. So hopefully I'll have an update soon as to when everything's done and they're officially going to put it back in. Okay, so under new business, we took care of Bert's questions under public comments. The strategic plan was approved by the MBLC, so we've since posted it online for everyone who wants some good reading to read. And so we have been using, I have here the library email servicer. So we have been using MailChimp for our email lists, and we've been using the free one, but now they're really limiting what you can do with the free account. So we need to look into a paid option. I've looked into a couple things. Constant Contact is one, but there's also Library Aware. So for Constant Contact, they would give us a discount as a nonprofit, and it would be about, I think what he says, a 12-month prepayment would total $294, which breaks down to $24.50 a month. But there's also something called Library Aware, which our staff did a training and we got like a free trial to look at. So Library Aware, I don't know if any of you guys have used Canva at all. It's kind of like a Canva, but for libraries. So in addition to what they would do for our email services, they can also they have pre-made like posters, displays, brochures, kind of like what Canva has, but kind of more along the lines of what's useful to us. So our staff really like it. The graphics are good.
So what is this used for?
It's used, so we could use it for creating posters. We could use it for creating any kind of our publicity,
Oh, okay.
bookmarks, brochures, what have you.
We use it for a lot of slideshows and flyers for programs at the school.
Yeah, yeah.
But we use Canva.
Yep.
So if it's a library one, it's just any
Yeah.
kind of materials that you're using for.
So once you're happy with that, whatever it might be, you just hit the print button and make your own copies.
Yep.
And you pay them a flat sum.
Well, so their cost is they charge $725 annually, which is
Almost 3 times the cost of the other one.
Yeah.
60 bucks a month,
yes,
yeah.
yes. However, with this, we currently use Wowberry, which it sends out. If you sign up for it, you get a weekly email list with all of our like new titles, whatnot. But with Library Aware, they do that, and it's kind of they do a nicer version of that. So we could essentially get rid of the, I think it's like $325 or $350 we spend on Wowberry. Use just Library Aware. And so I was just asking to see if this is something that, you know, I think it creates really good marketing materials, which is what we need. Canva is great, but you know, some of the graphics there, it's like, you know, it's not always like library specific. So we're sometimes grasping for straws
Do you
trying
want
to find the right one.
486 different basketballs?
No.
So how many people do you send stuff out to weekly or monthly?
Yeah,
or
I mean,
whatever?
our emails vary. Currently, right now, I think we have almost 400 subscribers in MailChimp, and it's growing. Now that we have it included on our library registration card form, we're really heavily advertising it. It's really growing steadily. So, and unfortunately, at this, we aren't able to use MailChimp anymore because they've just put a limit on how many emails we can send to people. So we can't even send emails right now. So we're, you know, until our, what is it, every month or so, they limit you to X number of emails that
So
you can send out.
either of these companies don't have an upper limit or it's
No,
far beyond what we would use.
the Constant Contact has a limit. It's they do 1 to 500 contacts, 500 to 2,500.
Right.
Library Aware is unlimited, so we can just keep growing and building, which is really nice. And they do work with CW Mars, so that number includes a discount because they work with
So
CW
with them,
Mars.
it's 700 and something, but then you wouldn't have to pay.
We
300
would,
and
yeah,
something to
yeah.
another
So
service.
it would cut out that expense.
Right.
So, I mean, initially when we signed up, they quoted us $725 from July 1st to like a fiscal year. But if it's okay with you, I'd like to see if we could sign up like now, because and see if they could tack on an additional 2 months to just get us going before their quote.
And I mean, that would be before the summer programming, which is when you have a
Yes,
huge.
which is
amount
when
of
we need it.
postings.
Yeah, yeah. And it's, I mean, every month, like now we have to wait until a certain date to send out our library links email newsletter. And MailChimp has been great, but now nothing is for free anymore. So
So what do people think of it?
we would use we would just have to use state aid.
Mhm.
So
Well,
Sounds like a good idea, frankly.
Especially if it puts out, like, if you could use it to put all the posters and other
oh yeah,
stuff
yeah.
together, it's like right there.
It's right there.
One-stop
Yep.
shopping.
It's great because they have book covers in there already. So like we can just pull from there.
And it
From
meets the
everything.
marketing plan for the strategic plan.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys need to officially vote or if
we
we
don't
can
know
just,
because the state funds,
yeah. Yep, I just like to run any larger purchases by you guys just to make sure. Okay, wonderful. So I'll check in with them tomorrow. Next thing on the list is the summer reading program software. has been paid, we use Beanstack, and that has been paid through the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners. But as of December, they're not paying for it anymore.
Then get rid of it, go back to paper, because that was way better.
Yeah, so,
But I have strong opinions.
yes, our staff are aware that some
Go back to
people really
paper.
like the paper.
Yes.
But they like, the virtual format works for some people, and our children's librarian uses it throughout the year. She uses it for like the 1,000 Books for Kindergarten program and keeping track of that. So we were looking at pricing, if we were to pay for Beanstack ourselves, the very basic package would be $799 annually with a one-time implementation fee of $195, which is astronomical. For something we use mainly during the summer and then scattered throughout the year. And that's just the basic package. But our children's librarian found another program called Read Squared, which she likes, kind of has a lot of the same features. And that one's $395 annually. So it's more agreeable. So I think we're going to drop the Beanstack because
It's pricing itself out of business.
it is. And I'm sad the Board of Library Commissioners stopped paying for it because I think they got us all hooked to it, and it's now ingrained in us every summer. This is our plan.
Well, they have a budget they have to get
Yes.
out of the legislature every year.
Yep, so not anymore. But yeah, so I'll tell Molly if if nobody has any concerns about it, we'll look into the Read Squared one for $395 is what they quoted us for. Next.
So no paper.
No, I always let them know that people like the paper. I get it. I'm old school. I like paper. All right. Do we want to, I took it upon myself to go through our policy handbook and kind of find everything that needs, Tammy's like, oh, please no, about everything that needs updating or changing. It's 10 of 8. Do you want to just, did you want to table some to
Sure.
the next meeting? I can
Sure.
tackle the easiest ones to just get those out of the way. Does that work for, okay. All right, so easy enough, Library Bill of Rights, our copy in our policy handbook is outdated, so I just wanted to get the approval of the trustees to include the most updated version of the Library Bill of Rights in our policy handbook.
So we'll go from 1,800 to 2,000.
Well, the latest, it was adopted the latest time, January 2019. So 1939, 44, 61, 80, and 2019. With the inclusion of age reaffirmed in January 23rd, 1996. They're very specific. So I would like to ask permission for that. Let's see, what's easy enough that we can. Holds pickup policy. We just wanted to, I wrote on it where we want to correct it. So people can, if they forget their library cards, we can have them check out for their license. I just wanted to clarify on the holds pickup policy that we can do that here as well. There's also a line in here under section C that circulation staff will have a list of CWMAR's card numbers of patrons that have placed holds and the names and card numbers of those who are authorized to pick up. We don't keep track of lists or anything like that anymore, so that's obsolete. I just
So
like to
getting rid
remove
of
that.
all of C.
Yep, correcting B to include licenses and getting rid of all of C.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's really just semantics, I guess, but so instead of license, because people I work with don't have licenses, but they have state IDs.
Can we, if we say like photo ID,
Yeah.
or I say when pick up with library card, or I guess we can just,
State
No, if you
ID.
say photo ID, it would be like, here's my gym membership. but
Yeah,
if
so
you
I guess
say,
so if
like,
we can be
mask,
specific and say state,
Yeah.
state ID.
Thank you.
All right. What else can be? Some of these are a little bit more involved and I think everybody's quite at their
We
limit.
we can hold off on that.
Yeah, I don't,
'Cause you've
I mean,
got other
none of
work you gotta
these-
do.
none of these are extremely urgent. The only thing is, can you guys vote to approve these, the changes in the hold pickup policy and the addition of the updated library bill of rights?
For your motion,
I'll move that we approve the holds pickup policy as discussed. And also the
library bill of rights.
library bill of rights.
Tammy seconds.
Maria?
Michael, yes.
Tammy, yes.
And then I just wanted to bring to your attention one thing in the trustees bylaws, because it technically is in the policy handbook. It just needs to be updated because on page 2, under Article 5, it says regular meetings shall be held on the second Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. That just needs to be amended to the.
Page, I have page 4,
It's the flip side, yeah, so,
page 5.
Page
yeah,
two.
it's technically page 5,
Okay.
yes. I meant
Oh,
page
okay.
2 because
Oh, gotcha.
Second
we need
Tuesday.
sleep, Tammy. Yeah, so if we can just amend that to be the second Tuesday of the month.
Do I hear a motion?
To accept the bylaws for the Board of Library Trustees of the Southwick Public Library as discussed and amended.
Seconded by Tammy.
All those in favor, Michael, yes.
Tammy, yes.
Maria, yes.
Jen, yes.
Okay. So we will save the policies for the next meeting. If there's a lot on the next meeting, maybe we'll just break them up over the next few. And then the last thing on here is that we are going to start looking for our summer library page. I'll send a request to hire over to town hall probably in the next couple weeks, so we can just get that moving along.
And that's at $15 an hour.
Yes, I think we're gonna do, I always like to check in with the accountant just to be sure, but I think, it shouldn't be below minimum
It just-
wage.
They always keep it at minimum wage.
Right.
Well, I don't think municipalities don't have to be minimum wage,
I,
but they should be minimum wage. Yeah. So it would be no lower than $15 an hour. I think that's what we put in our budget estimations too.
Just to go back, any idea on when the grants, when you go back to the grants?
Usually in the spring, sometimes early summer. So hopefully soon. They've confirmed that they've received all of our applications for short-lived, and Sarah Gillette, we're just waiting to
And
hear
I
from.
can't remember if we talked about this last month or not, then we weren't here for long, but the budget went well in front of the.
I think so.
yes.
Yep.
They had, I think, 1 or 2 questions about a couple of the numbers. What did this number mean, or did this include X, Y, and Z? And you clarified that.
Yep, I think it went well, so. We shall see.
I have another question.
Yes.
Our next meeting is scheduled for Election Day.
Oh, is that right?
Michelle won't be happy.
No, we cannot do that. We
You
cannot
can't
do
it the
that.
following week either, right?
Following week is the town meeting. So we either have to, maybe it'll be the second Wednesday.
Re-amend.
Right.
Just trying to remind myself if we have anything going on the first. Yeah, so what do we think? I can look at our calendar and see if May 2nd is open. That would be the Tuesday before. Okay, let me just grab our calendar real quick so we can confirm.
'Cause I think we have done it on Wednesday. Other years.
just many times then you're interfering with the friends, so.
And they're getting into their active season, I guess, too, so. Do we meet during the summer or just into June? We meet
Usually June, then we don't
And
meet till
then-
September,
until, okay.
unless we try to replace the director.
Right.
We met
And
once,
she's got a 20-year contract.
Uh-oh.
but we met once last summer, I thought.
I think we did,
There
yeah.
must-
Yeah, there's no one
Some
else.
emergency, yeah, yeah.
I think we had a regular. August.
So, let's see, so May 2nd is actually, well, there's somebody in here 4 to 6:30, so we could potentially do 7 to 8
As usual.
as
right?
usual. Yep.
Okay, so May 2nd. Okay.
Great.
Do we have anything else?
Motion
I
to
can think
adjourn
of.
by Tammy.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Michael, yes.
Tammy, yes.
Maria, yes.
Jen, yes.